Phoenix here with the Club World Cup quarterfinals, predictions, spoilers, everything you need to know. Of course, before we get into that, I didn't post anything or upload anything yesterday or stream. I couldn't believe it. I'm still in a state of shock, to be honest. I couldn't believe reading the news about Jota and his brother. May they both rest in peace and full condolences to his family. I can't even imagine what they're going through. And of course, all his teammates, former teammates on the Portuguese national team, Liverpool Football Club, Liverpool fans. It's a crazy situation. And it's a friendly reminder, I think, to us all that life is short and it can be taken away in a moment. I didn't post anything because I couldn't believe what I was reading, to be honest, on social media. Some absolute cray-day weirdos on there. But yeah, I've been doing my job still. I got to redeem myself when it comes to this Club World Cup. The round of 16 went horrible for me, to say the least, and I have standards which I have to uphold. I've been deep into the analysis to make sure that I get everything spot on when it comes to the remainder of this competition. We'll begin, of course, with the game tonight between Fluminense and Al Hilal. Two teams who are here, don't think deserve to be, maybe controversial, but Fluminense in particular, you're a disgrace of a team, the way you played. You have an enemy for life, like I told you. Obviously, it's a game between two teams who I have connections with when it comes to my football club. Expect a terrorismo game. Al Hilal look good when teams go up against them, when teams attack them. Fluminense won't do that. They're not going to leave space in behind. As a result, it's going to be a very, very cagey under 2.5 game. There's two defenders in particular, one on each team, who have been playing out of their minds in this tournament, Thiago Silva and Koulibaly. Fluminense have shown the flexibility to play a back three or a back four. Back three / back five, if you will. They can only really play one way, though, whichever system they play. It's defend deep and counter-attack and try and hit and hope. Al Hilal will struggle. They're still very, very tired from the game they played against Manchester City. They wasted a lot of energy in that game. But there's players on the Al Hilal team who are playing out of their minds. And it is the big players, right? It is Bono, it is Cancelo, it is Koulibaly, it's Neves, it's Milinkovic-Savic, it's Lodi, Leonardo, even Malcolm. These are players who are showing a very, very high level. This is, of course, what they were brought in for, especially for these type of matches. But they're not going to get the job done in 90. They're going to struggle big time. This game will go to extra time. It will be 0-0 or 1-1 in 90 minutes. There'll be no goals in extra time. It will go straight to a penalty shootout where Bono will display once again that he's one of the best penalty-saving goalkeepers in world football. Al Hilal to go through on penalties. Book it, quote me. As always, back me. Because if you don't, forget about the round of 16. But you'll be playing a very high risk game. Up next, the toughest one for me to call. Between Palmeiras and Chelsea Football Club. There's been a lot of talk about Chelsea. I think people begin taking it too far. They are considered favourites to go to the final from that side of the bracket. But I've not really been too impressed with what I've seen from Chelsea Football Club. They're doing a good job at being solid defensively and using their midfield to their strengths. Because like I've told you before, Chelsea's midfield is not going to get outmatched against other midfields. It'll be a fascinating duel between two of the best players in this tournament, Rios and Caicedo. I think that's going to be a straight-out dogfight, and I'm very interested to see that. But with Chelsea, we've already seen against Flamengo, people are pretending like that game hasn't happened. Chelsea were outmatched in that one. Yes, Flamengo are the best Brazilian team. Palmeiras are the second best Brazilian team. With Chelsea, especially if Neto isn't going to play, which is rumored that Neto will not be playing, I'm really struggling to see where the goals are coming from. Palmer has been a disaster this tournament. And Nkunku has been decent. We could get to see him start. But again, Nkunku and Palmer cannot play together. It doesn't seem like they mesh well. So I'm concerned about what they're doing up front. Liam Delap has turned up. But when it comes to playing against a good team, he's been locked up. And I expect the same to happen today against Palmeiras. Or rather, tomorrow morning. Estevao up against his former team. It'll be a close game. But what I've analyzed, what the algorithm has spat out, is a Palmeiras victory. It's a narrow victory. I could see it again being 1-1 extra, 1-1 90 minutes. But I think Palmeiras will get the job done just like they done against Botafogo. Either in extra time or in 90. It's going to be 2-1 Palmeiras. The only thing I'm not certain of is, like I said, when Palmeiras get that winning goal. Believe it or not, Chelsea will score first. Palmeiras will equalize to make it 1-1. Then Palmeiras will make it 2-1. I'm just struggling to see whether it's in 90 or it's in 120 minutes because the algorithm has spat out both possibilities to me. So I just need to finalize that piece. But Palmeiras will be going through. Chelsea will be going home. Up next, PSG versus Bayern Munich. The flashy game of the quarterfinals, if you will. The champions of Europe, champions of everything this season, looking to also win the Club World Cup. The amount of disrespect I've seen put on Bayern Munich is an absolute disgrace. It's a complete and utter farce. Bayern not only have already beaten PSG, yes, it's a different PSG team, but they have the perfect players to play a one-off knockout game. I'm concerned about Vincent Kompany. I'm not disputing that. And it's going to be high press versus high press. It'll be absolutely crazy. But I've made a combined 11 just to show you guys, because here's where I think most people are making a severe mistake. When you make a combined 11, right, like it's made on general ability. It's not necessarily made on who's had the better season. Sure, we can go Donnarumma, Hakimi, Nuno Mendes, Pacho. They're undisputed in the defense. PSG have the better defense, that is obvious. I'm putting up on McConnell. I think Marquinhos is a problem. Now, here's where it starts getting interesting. Vitinha has been sensational. Is Vitinha a better player than Joshua Kimmich? No chance. Not on this planet. Maybe in another one, not on this planet. I don't care how good of a season Vitinha's having. I have a pair of eyes. Joshua Kimmich is in my team over Vitinha all day long. Olise over Desiree Doué all day long, and over Barcola. Musiala's in the team. Of course, he has to be in the team. He's not in the best of form, not having the best Club World Cup. But it's Jamal Musiala. Just like that, he can turn it up. Gavara, for sure, on the left. And then again, Kane versus Dembele. Yes, Dembele could win the Ballon d'Or. You'd be absolutely crazy to put Ousmane Dembele in this combined 11 over Harry Kane. It just doesn't make sense. You can cheat and maybe put him on the right ahead of Olise. I'm not completely certain I would do that. But if it's a straight shootout, Dembele will play down the middle, Kane plays down the middle. You're telling me right now you pick Ousmane Dembele ahead of Harry Kane? Come on. Come on. In a one-off Club World Cup game coming up, no chance. Harry Kane will be the difference in this game. The worrying thing for Bayern is, of course, who's going to play on the left. Because if it's Coman, okay. If it's Gnabry, there's problems. If it's Sané, chalk it up. But I expect Kompany to do the sensible thing. I think it will be Musiala down the middle, Coman on the left. But even though PSG win this combined 11, this will be much closer than people think. I've watched plenty of these type of games to know the striker will make the difference, especially one on Harry Kane's level. I've gone with Bayern Munich to win this game by 3-2. Harry Kane at the double. The other goal will come from Jonathan Tah from a corner. Bang. Header. Last but not least, the easiest game for me to predict. How on earth Dortmund have got this far, I will never ever know. Yes, they were on a good streak. They were on a good undefeated streak. Kovac has done a really good job at setting up the team not to concede and stay in the game. But this is a whole different challenge to anything Dortmund have faced. This is Xabi Alonso's Real Madrid. We've seen these two teams also play against each other. It was two different managers. Dortmund choked at the Bernabeu when they had that massive lead. So sure, they can cause them problems, but they can only cause problems to Ancelotti's Real Madrid. If you've been watching Xabi Alonso's Real Madrid, I am calm and composed, and I expect Xabi to do the right thing. Mbappe has to start ahead of Vinicius. Put Mbappe next to Garcia. We'll see if he obliges. Xabi, I trust in you. But other than that, Real Madrid much better defensively. And also will win the midfield battle. Unfortunately, no brother versus brother because Job is suspended. But there you have it. It will be Al Hilal versus Palmeiras. It will be Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid. Bayern Munich will win the whole thing. That I can guarantee you. Phoenix